Welcome back to Thugging It Out. Thugging It Out is a platform where we create a safe space to acknowledge, experience, and overcome real life issues in a positive and healthy way. Before we hop into this week's episode, can you please follow the podcast on whatever platform that you listen to this on, as well as go like, comment, and subscribe to the Thugging It Out podcast on YouTube, as well as tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all already know a new episode drops every Wednesday on all podcast platforms and a new live every Saturday at 6 p.m. So be on the lookout for new content twice a week. And before we hop into this episode, let's just acknowledge the fact that I have been consistent all month. I have been getting up, I've been doing my motivational videos, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you need to follow me on Instagram at _thuggingitout_ because I've been doing my motivational videos every morning, getting up, regardless of how I feel, and working a plan, as well as being consistent with dropping on Wednesdays and being consistent with dropping on Sundays. And most recently, I've been in this weird space. And this is kind of what influenced this week's episode of you gotta keep going. Like, you gotta keep going. Like, I've been telling myself this, I want to say since Saturday. I don't know. I feel like, of course, there's a time of rest because we all need rest. You can't just go, hustle, bustle, grind. You need rest. But also, I think it's a unspoken notion. I'm not going to say unspoken notion. I feel like sometimes, even in the midst of trying to elevate and be who you're supposed to be, that people don't talk about the wanting to quit, the wanting to give up. And that's why I say, you got to keep going. Throughout this episode, I'm going to continuously remind you, as well as myself, that you got to keep going. Because let's be real here. Life is not waiting on nobody. We acknowledged that last episode. But also, too, I'm not going to be one of those people, unlike the masses, that make it seem as if it's so easy to elevate, or that it's so easy to become a millionaire, or it's so easy to be financially stable, or if it's so easy to be a mom or a dad, or if it's so easy to survive in today's economy. I'm not going to do that. Because we have so many people giving out opinions and notions on certain things. And I really think a lot of them forget that they're human as well. It's like, yes, you can be successful, you could be beautiful, you got the perfect body, but you're not perfect. And just because they might have gotten it that way or with that standard, does not necessarily mean that that's going to work for everyone else. And the thing that irritates me most about influencers, I'm going to say, I guess, whatever you want to call them, or the successful people, is that they be very vocal about all the work that they put in or how they pay their dues. But they never speak on the urges or the times where they wanted to quit. The times where getting up and doing what you're called to do is not fulfilling anymore. They don't speak on the fact that it's draining. The fact that dragging your feet to just get up and go to work, to despising having to do the work or the want to just really sleep the day away. Like, they don't speak on those. They just tell you, like, hey, You have to work the plan. Like, I've been seeing so much stuff like, give it a year. Get, do it for a year. Do it for 6 months and watch how your life change. And yes, I am a firm believer in creating habits and having a routine and a schedule, because that's the determining factor of your life, because it sets the tone for it. But I would never not acknowledge the struggles that come with it. And I know one thing that's kind of been encouraging to me in the midst of my craziness is that nothing is meant to be easy. So you got to keep going. Like, nothing is meant to be easy. So you have to keep going. And I know that might be surprising to hear, because in today's society, everything is built off convenience. Food, based off convenience. Surgery, based off convenience. Makeup, based off convenience. Weave, based off convenience. Cars, based off convenience. Our telephones, based off convenience. Everything, every inch of our lives is embedded with convenience. And I think that does us a disservice, because we get so used to convenience that when we truly have to work for something and put the time, the blood, the sweat and tears in something, we be so ready to quit right at the jump of it, because we're not used to hard work. And I'm just going to keep it a buck with you guys. To really change your life takes hard work. Even for a rich person. Like, I think a lot of times people don't even recognize that wealthy people, they have to get up every day and manage their funds. Make sure things are intact. Do their jobs. And I know not too long ago, me and my husband was talking, because we were speaking on like the corporate ladder and kind of where I want to end up in my career. And it was so funny, because he was, asking like, would you want to be like the area director? Like, be your boss's boss? And I was like, not really. Or like the CEO of a company. Like, everybody wants those jobs based off the titles and the dollar signs. But people don't recognize that those jobs come with a lot of responsibility. They come with a lot of stress. They come with you not being able to sleep, because everything is dependent on you. And I'm not saying that to discourage anyone. I'm just saying that even when you think life should be easy, it never is. And with every step you make in every direction that you're trying to go, you will meet some type of resistance. And the resistance has one or two purposes. One is for you to learn a new skill, or it's for you to unlearn a bad trait. So, you got to get used to weathering the storm. You got to keep going. And I'm saying this to myself included, because I'm not going to lie. Friday is the day that I started feeling away. And y'all already know I've been very vocal and very transparent about my anxieties, my depression, and all my different mental issues. So, with that being said, Friday was kind of like this weird space for me, and it kind of trickled over into this week. And it wasn't, like the normal, like I could identify like depression, I could identify anxiety. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I was just not in the mood to do anything. Like, my last live to do, I legit put that together like 10 minutes before the show. And even then, I was late getting on. I didn't want to do it. And the reason why I followed through with it, because I told myself, You got to keep going. You're being consistent. Don't stop now. And throughout this episode, I want to encourage you to be consistent. Don't stop now. To keep going. And I'm not sitting there saying that, I don't know what's the reason behind me feeling the way I feel. Or what's the reason behind you going through what you're going through. Only thing at the moment that I have, and the only thing that has been keeping me going, is to knowing that all things are working for my good. And I've been watching my sermons, I've been reading my Bible, I've been working out, I've been eating healthy, still no meat. Like your girl has went 3 weeks without meat. And people, I lost 10 pounds in 3 weeks without eating meat. A little quick side note, even without eating meat, I have not been getting headaches anymore. I truly kind of, sort of, like got off the caffeine. So I haven't been having headaches or anything like that. I lost 10 pounds. I've really been drinking water. I've been working out. I have been doing everything that I said I was going to do. I've been consistent with the podcast. I am on time with my schoolwork for grad school. But I'm not necessarily sure what came around. But I have a sneaky suspicion that was, I'm not even going to say his name. That's the person down below that was trying to sabotage me, I think. That was like, I feel like something trying to throw me off what God put on my heart. And that lets me know that I'm going in the right direction, that I'm doing exactly what he said to do. So that's another way that you can kind of know if you're on the right path. When you're doing everything right, you're checking the boxes, you doing exactly what's been on your spirit to do, and you not even really getting resistance. You getting your inner self, because that's what I'm gonna call it. Your inner self is fighting against you. It's like your mind knows what to do, but it's like your body is like, no, I'm not doing it. It's that type of resistance that I'm speaking on. And in those moments, I think that's the best time and the most important time for you to continue going, to keep going. You gotta keep going. You gotta fight through it. And look, we are at Tuesday night, and I feel better, quite honestly. I'm not feeling the same type of mood, but I am still tired. And I know one thing is that I have to prioritize rest. And this is your reminder to prioritize rest. Like, I know I speak on the hustle and bustle and working the steps, sticking to the schedule and working the routine. But also there is an importance for rest. And I know I was watching a sermon some months ago, and the preacher pointed out, like, God took Sunday to rest. Now, if God is God, and he created all these things in the midst of 7 days, and he knew that he had to rest, that's his plan for everyone, and that we're not exempt. And I know sometimes we think that we're Superwoman or Superman, but we have to rest. We have to give our bodies time to catch up with everything. Like, we can't be on go mode 24/7. We have to rest. So not only do you got to keep going, not only do you have to face the resistance, but you also have to rest. And when I say rest, I'm not just speaking on sleep. I'm not just speaking on reading a book in a bed. I'm not just speaking on taking the elaborate baths. I'm not even speaking on just sitting on the couch watching TV all day. You need to have rest. You need to have time to reset. And with the rest, you have to have time to sit with God. And I think that's something that I think that has been helping me get through this. Because in a lot of times when I have been feeling the way I've been feeling lately, I legit just been leaning onto God. I've been sitting there wondering, like, Lord, what is it that you're trying to tell me? What is it that you need me to do? Lord, take this away because it's too much for me right now. And I'm telling you, those simple 3 words in the midst of adversity are life changing. But you have to actually mean it when you say it. You know how everybody is on this spiritual journeys and everybody's so with affirmations? Affirmations can be simply small sentences of you speaking with God and you encouraging yourself. Because that's another thing too that I'm recognizing as I'm finishing up the Bible is that you gotta encourage yourself. You know, a lot of times people be like, oh, you gotta go to church, you need a church family, which is important, I'm assuming. But you also have to have your own personal relationship with God. And along with the spiritual stuff, because I'm recognizing, totally off topic, but a lot of things that Christians say is like, oh, that's devil's work and this is devil work. It's parts in the Bible where God kind of uses it. Or even the fact that it's like you have the Holy Spirit, so lean on the Spirit, talk to the Spirit, speak in tongues, do this, that, and the third. So it's like, is that really not? I mean, I don't know. I'm not even getting to that because that's too controversial. It's way above my pay grade. And I ain't even finna go down that rabbit hole because we will be here all night if I did. But learn how to encourage yourself as well as lean on God in your times of need. Because we can't do it by ourselves. Even though we got to keep going, you can't do it by yourself. And not only ask God for help, but also you need a village. You need reinforcement. And I'm recognizing that more and more too. And that's one of the things that, I don't know, I feel like sometimes gets the best of me is that I haven't found my village yet. And I know my therapist always said, like, it's in due time. You will eventually meet the people that will feed your soul. And that will be, here more than just a season. And I'm waiting, and sometimes it gets a little frustrating. So if you have a village, and when I say village, I mean like people that speak life in you, people that has your back, people that's going to ride for you and push you forward. If you have that, you need to lean on those people when you're feeling like you can't go on, that you really feeling the urge to give in, when you really getting the urge to stop and go against the routine. You need a village. What that village look like, I don't know. You have to figure it out. I know as of right now, my village consists of my husband, a few friends. Well, I don't really know if I want to say friends. I guess they're well, whatever. And God. I really have been leaning on God a lot because God is the beginning and the end. He really all I need, but I am a husband now too, but you need a village. And you gotta keep going. I know it's stressful. I know it's hard. I know it's frustrating. I know it's tiresome. I know it gets the best of you. I know it's hard. I know sometimes it hurts. I know it sometimes gets overwhelming. It's too much. All of the above. All of that is what I've been feeling, maybe for the past, 4 days. So I know the feelings. And that's why you got to keep going. January is coming to a close. This the last day of January. And we will be in February. And February is the month where we're going to take a new direction. Because it's all about love. But for the final episode of January, to wrap up January, the first month of 2024, I want to remind you that you have to keep going, that you have to weather the storm, and that the resistance is either breaking you or making you. Either or, they're working for your good, and that you have to stay consistent. You have to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. Even when it seems pointless, you have to keep going. Even when it seems like you're not getting attention, even when it feels like you're not getting support, you have to keep going. Even when it feels like it's pointless, you have to keep going. Okay? All right. I want you guys to really have the best rest of your week. And I want you to keep going. Feel the pain, feel the burn, cry the tears, work the path. Continuously water that seed that you planted. Because 2024 will be life changing. And like I said earlier, just because it will be life changing does not mean it's going to be easy. Don't let our popcorn society trick you into believing that the journey going to be easy, because nothing's is. You ain't saw not one person ever get to the promised land or the place they're supposed to be, and they said the path was a piece of cake. Nobody said I made $1 million and it was easy. Nobody said I bought my house and it was easy. Nobody said I raised my kids and it was easy. Nobody said I got this body and it was easy. So nothing is easy. So let's first erase that out of our minds, out of our hearts, out of our vocabulary. Just know, ain't nothing gonna be easy. So toughen up, put your head up, chest out, and continue on down the path. And in those times where things can get a little too overwhelming, they become too much, lean on God first. And then ask help for your village. Because if they're really your people, they will assist you in whatever way you need them to assist, to push you forward for the greater good. So keep going. Because even when you go talk to God, when you bring it to God, I'm trying to tell y'all, He gonna tell you gotta keep going. You okay. Dust it off. It's like riding a bike. You fall, you get up, keep going. And that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all already know Saturday will be a new live, and we'll be transitioning to a space of love, because February is the month of love. So we're going to end up going into that direction for the podcast for next month. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, if you want to be on the panel, the mother's panel, the father's panel that's coming up, the married panel, because that seems like the lane that I've been going in lately, or just a talk it out where you feel the need to get some little things off your chest and you want to talk to the people on Thugging It Out, hit me up at on Instagram _Thugging It Out _ as well as if this on Spotify, I believe you could leave a comment. If you listen to this on Spotify, you could leave a comment and I can reach out, or we can, click up together or whatever. And you can hop on one of the episodes. Because like I said, this platform is for everybody. It's not just a space for me. It's a space for everybody. It's a safe space that we can come together, we can acknowledge, we can experience, and we can find ways to overcome, to help you as well as to help others. So I'm going to get out y'all hair. I think y'all heard me enough. I want y'all to have a good rest of y'all week. And make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe to the Thugging Out podcast on YouTube, because that's where we're going to be at Saturday at 6 p.m. So, I love y'all. I want y'all to just keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Don't get distracted. Keep going. So, remember to be grateful, be blessed, be thankful. But most importantly, keep thugging it out. Peace.